Welcome back to another post-game show with your Bastards of Boston Baseball. I'm your host, Charlie Smith. You can find me on Twitter/X at Smith_MLB. My co-host for this one is going to be Jeremy Schilling. JT Schill 20 is where you can find him on Twitter/X. If you want more Bastards of Boston Baseball content, check bastardsofbostonbaseball.com. The Boston Red Sox outscored your O's and swept them 15-7, winning 3 games by 1 run, including back-to-back 3-2 finishes. Behind the backs of Roman Anthony, Trevor Story, your bullpen, Aroldis Chapman. We could just keep going if you want. The Red Sox currently sit 1 game ahead of the Yankees, with the note that the Yankees still are not done with their game right now. If they do end up winning this one against Chicago, it'll still be half a game atop the wild card standing. So quite a lot to unpack here. Jeremy, why don't you take us away with this game and this series overall? What did you think was just incredible? What are you worried about? Let's hear it.
So just this game?
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. So for just this game, they were 1 for 5 with runners in scoring position. It's a little nitpicky, but it's just been frustrating. And my concern today with the 1 for 5, if it wasn't happening in the last 2 weeks, these bases loaded situations, first and third, no outs, and we come away with nothing. And I'm not saying we got to be putting up a crooked number every time you're given the opportunity, but sack fly, hit into a double play, I don't care. Let's get those runs in so this isn't a 3-2 game. Other than that, I'm all positive. They find a way to win the game. Crochet, I thought, was okay. He put himself in some bad spots today. I think when they took the lead 2-1 the next half inning, he came in and almost hit a guy in the head. Luckily, the guy got his shoulder up and deflected it, but followed by an infield single and then, base hit, run scores at second and third with no outs. And obviously he gets out of it, but he just kind of did a little bit to himself, a couple walks. Obviously what sets him apart is instead of imploding, he keeps you in the game and we wind up winning it. So, that's my take on the game. Obviously, Trevor Story continues to be in the mix with winning plays, whether it's a home run like he had today, having the wherewithal to gun the runner down at third in the ninth when the Orioles lit off with a leadoff double. He's a winning baseball player, and we were so frustrated with his injuries. He's really starting to show that when he's out there every day, he makes winning plays. It's really fun to watch. Just bigger picture briefly, they just keep winning games, and they're winning them different ways. Yesterday was kind of interesting because I felt like he unnecessarily dove Rafaela at the ball that led to a double. Why are you diving? His foot was still on the ground. That was my take. I'm not saying I'm like married to it. Just that was my take. And then him and Duran don't communicate on the ball that should have been caught in the warning track. But then this is the type of team that they don't dwell on it. They don't pout. He goes up and he hits a home run and wins the game. It's just that they're a winning team. They have largely avoided some of the reoccurring issues from earlier in the season and that we saw a little bit out of the All-Star break. And I don't know what the Blue Jays score is right now, but we were down. We're 2.5 out based on today's win, and the Blue Jays hadn't played yet. Guys, division's there. The division's there. If they keep playing like this, and it's within a game or so, we have the Blue Jays in a 3-game set to end the season. So I'm shifting my focus personally from let's get that first wild card to let's go win a division here. And that's where I'm at, Charlie.
Yeah, dude. So for me, there was so much to unpack against the O's in this series. Everybody was concerned, annoyed, upset about the fact that we lost 2 against Baltimore. I'm like, all right, it's a 2-game set, whatever. You're facing New York, and then you're facing Baltimore again. We're hoping to split against New York, and you're hoping to take 3 of 4 against the O's. You ended up taking 3 of 4 against the Yankees. You ended up sweeping Baltimore. And as the caption says, you've now won 7 of your last 8. We should be beating Baltimore. There's absolutely no excuse why you can't. As we were discussing and talking about earlier, the Red Sox outscored the O's 15-7. They average less than 2 runs a game. Your starting pitching, your bullpen should absolutely get the job done. Outside of Fitz in game one, your pen pitched 5 innings against a weak team, allowing 3 hits and struck out 7. You did what we needed you to do. Thank you. And we don't know what's going on with Fitz or how long that injury is going to be. I'm not even going to try to pretend to believe a timetable. Giolito in game 2 gives you 8 innings, strikes out 8, throws over 100 pitches, absolutely shoves. Bayo gives you 6+ in game 3, and then your bullpen comes out 2 1/3 innings, strikes out 4, 3 of which were Chapman. And I'm going to get to him in a second. And then Crochet, not the best performance, right? Couple of earned runs, 6 innings, struck out 7. Bullpen looked a little bit shaky. And then you're saved by Trevor Story playing absolute elite defense. He also was a stud hitting a couple of home runs in the series. So there's a really good chance now he might be in that 25-100 range. He's definitely going to get 90 RBIs. He just keeps hitting the ball, and he's dominating against bad teams. What else do you want to know? Couple other notes. Boston scored all of their runs via home run in game 1 and in game 3. 2 of the 3 runs in game 4, and then 2 of the 5 runs in game 2. So you're talking about situational hitting. If we're not hitting home runs, we're just not scoring runs. So on paper, you scored 15 in a 4-game set. The issue is that only 4 runs came around not via the home run. I want to talk about Chapman too for a second. This didn't get mentioned on the last show, and I think we need to talk about it. Chapman hasn't given up a hit in 11 appearances in the month of August. He gave up 4 hits last month and 2 hits the month before that. He's given up one earned run in the last 3 months. This is like on another level good. It's unbelievable. This guy has given up 1 earned run in his last 29 innings. We're past good. We're past great. That's like goddamn near perfect. I mean, what we're seeing right now, this is the best closing performance I've seen since Chapman, Clase, before his stupid antics of, gambling. There was a pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels at the time. I think it was the Los Angeles Angels. Brendan Donnelly had a 0.37 ERA. That's where Chapman's headed right now. Every single time he comes in, it's game over. He's striking out one guy, he's striking out 2, and he's not blowing him away with 104. He's sometimes goosing you with like an 86 slider. It's an absolute thing of beauty. I admittedly so, as soon as we saw Mats give up the double, I was like, bring in your closer. I was PO'd. Bring him in. You need to do it. It didn't end up happening, but dude, this is the best closer I think I've seen in my time. It's better than Kimbrel, who'd walk the park and then strike out 1 or 2 guys. I'm more scared of him than I was of Papelbon. I mean, Chapman stares in at the batter when he strikes you out because he knows you're not going to hit it. It's just like a thing of beauty, dude. Thing of beauty.
To me, this is the Uehara year where that splitter was just unhittable, and he threw it like 90% of the time, and and now he did it much differently. He was throwing like 87. But to me, this is more impressive. The stat that they keep updating is that he's gone like 41 plate appearances without giving up a hit. I mean, he's effectively closing in on 2 perfect games or two no hitters. To have it, and they're relying on him tremendously. It's not like he's only pitching twice a week. For him to have it every time he goes out has been unbelievable. It's a historic closer year as far as I can tell. And the other thing that 2 things that I are by way of an explanation from my perspective. Number 1, he is a tough competitor. It's actually 3 things. Number 2, I don't think I've ever seen him throw strikes at this high of a rate. And number 3, he's not just fastballs, which you alluded to. And he's getting swings on that slider, and they're bad swings because they got to cheat to get to the fastball. And then when they notice spin, they're just terrible check swing attempts, and he's making people look bad. He's pitching every single time out in low leverage situations, even though it's the 9th inning. It's so impressive to me what he's doing. And as long as they continue to manage him, he didn't close today. It wound up working out. I expect the same thing, a 1, 2, 3 inning every time he pitches. It's a wildly high standard, but that's what he's done.
Right.
He's unbelievable. And you get Slayton back, as the Sacred Circle just mentioned. So he
Right.
didn't pitch today, but he's back. I know we're going to talk about tomorrow's matchup towards the end of the show, but the back of the bullpen has been as good as I can remember.
Chapman has struck out the side 6 times this year. He has only allowed more than one hit once. And I mean, I get it. You're a closer. You're not expected to give up a lot of hits, but only one time you've given up 2 hits in how many appearances? I mean, that's just those are dumb numbers. He gave up more than 2 earned runs in a month one time. He actually has allowed 0 runs or less more times than he's given up more than 2 runs, which is just it's just insane. I mean, what we're witnessing is it's borderline stupid. And I mean, I'm speechless. Every single time he comes in, I'm like, turn the TV off, game's over.
Yeah, Robert Hennessy points out that he's got a 1.04 ERA.
Yeah.
So if he goes another scoreless inning in his next outing, he's going to be a sub-1 ERA this late in the year. It's absurd.
It's hard. I mean, he's got 6 earned 6 times. Let's see. In order to have that, he's going to have to pitch another technically 2 1/3, because 1 run at 9 innings is 1. He'll need 2 more innings. He'll get it. He'll be there in 2 innings. That's insane. So we talked about, actually collectively, Show talked about Roman Anthony being someone you trust, Alex Bregman being someone you trust. I'm actually kind of confused. I'm shocked. I'm like shaking my head, like we're not trusting Trevor Story as someone that's, if he's not doing it with the bat, he's doing it with the glove. We don't get this game in the 9th inning if Trevor Story doesn't make the play he does in the 9th inning. Carlson forgot who's playing short, starts running to third on an absolute bullet. He gets taken out when is it Alex Jackson? I forget who it was for Baltimore. Is it their catcher? Hit it to short. Story throws him out at third base. If that runner's safe at third with 1 out, sack fly brings him in, we're tied 3-3. There's a chance we lose that game. But defensively, we're making the right decisions. Let the other teams make dumb mistakes. Like we made one in the outfield where you have 2 center fielders, one playing left and one's playing center. And you could tell, like, oh, he's got it. No, he's got it. And they just kind of look at each other. The ball gets pegged underneath it's like underneath the fence. It just gets stuck there. It was just a silly mistake. But truth be told, I mean, what other blips did we have? I mean, we're not getting, I hate getting picked off at third base. That's infuriating to me. If you get caught stealing at first or caught stealing at second, it's not as unforgivable. If you're trying to steal second and you got a good jump, I understand. Getting picked off at third, inexcusable. So when that happened to David Hamilton, I was so annoyed because you only have one job. Like no one's expecting you to hit home runs. And if you get picked off, that's just dumb. We can't have that. So, I mean, expectation against a really bad team, you have to win a minimum of 3. You ended up sweeping, and 3 of the games were 1-run games. They were close. We used to lose those games. We used to lose the 1-run games. At one point, we had the second most 1-run losses. I think we were at 17 behind the Chicago White Sox, and they're just an abysmal team, just awful. And we were right there. And now it's happening the other way around. We're gonna get into the playoffs. I mean, that's it. We're going to exceed the 85, 86 number that a lot of people thought. After we won today, the Red Sox stand 75-60 with, 27 games to go. So really, this team could go, 13-14, and we're probably still going to be either a 1 or 2 seed team in the wild card. I know you want to get that division. That's going to be really, really hard. We're close, but we're not that close. And Toronto is still a really good team, although we are surging. They're not. I mean, what would you put as a percentage that the Red Sox will end up taking the division against the Toronto Blue Jays? Do you think there's like a 60% shot, 50% shot?
So first of all, we're on pace right now at a .556 winning percentage to win 90 games. No, I mean, Toronto's got the best record in the American League. Because they have 1 less loss than Detroit. But I put it at 15 to 20%. And if there's no reason to let off the gas. And like I said, if it's close and you get to that last series, you never know what's going to happen. They're just close enough. The problem is right now, it seems like except for the Yankees losing to Boston, they're all just winning. Like New York's right there. They're not dropping off. Toronto keeps winning. So, I mean, some of it's going to be what you do. Some of it's going to be what they do. But I think it's certainly possible. And 15 to 20%, what would you have put that at a month ago? 0? So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just a testament to their consistency, and they keep finding ways to win games where we can now have a discussion that if they're 3 games better than the Blue Jays over the last month of the season, they can win this division. It's possible. It's something to talk about. That's what my point was earlier anyways.
Yeah, and that's a fair point to bring up. So the Boston Red Sox now get to face Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, not great, but we're actually going to have a youngster pitching for us that is getting called up. Peyton Toll is getting the call. 22-year-old youngster from Stillwater, Oklahoma. He's got Tim Wakefield's number. He's going to be wearing the lauded 49. So I'm wondering how that conversation went. According to ESPN, he is wearing number 49, and I didn't think we were going to see somebody wear that for a very, very long time. But he's pitching against Paul Skeens. I don't have the greatest hope there, but if he's able to win against Paul Skeens in his very first game, that's going to be insane. That being said, I'm not crazy scared about the remaining schedule. I'm really not. I think you're right. I think there's a really good chance 88 to 90 wins. There's a possibility there. There's also a 3-game set towards the end of the year at Toronto. For it, it's going to be really, really interesting. What sucks about it is that while you may be really close, half game, 1-game difference away from Toronto towards the end of the year, you close out the season against Detroit. That sucks. I don't want to face Detroit. One other thing, and I wanted to talk about this for a second too. Cade Povich, who's done a quality job this year, has been primarily throwing a 4-seamer and a curve. Like those have been his 2 pitches. 60% of the time, that's going to be the pitch you get. And they highlighted the fact that his changeup is a pitch in today's game. Players are not doing very well hitting it. They're hitting like a little over 100. And that's the pitch that Trevor Story ripped over the left field wall. Why is that important? 1 in 10 guys is actually making contact and actually doing something with a pitch, a changeup from Povich. I think at this point, if you're not putting Trevor Story at the front of your MVP conversation for the Boston Red Sox this year, you haven't been watching enough baseball. We are not where we are without him at the plate and in the field. I mean, yes, mistakes are going to happen, but the fact of the matter is he's been a consistent player all year long, and he's played over, this is his 133rd or 32nd game this year.
Yeah,
he's playing almost every day. I mean, he's doing something he has not done in a very, very long time. I have to look at it because I don't know what his total games played in one season was before this year as far as like a high is concerned. But this year, this is either his 130, I think it's 132nd game. He's played 140 games only 4 times in his career. He'd never done it as a member of the Red Sox. So already, as soon as he hit 100, he's eclipsed that. So, I mean, at this point, dude, he's going to surpass probably 25 home runs, 90 RBIs easily. And this is going to be probably his best year since 2018. That's 7 years, 8 years. His 4th year in Boston. Finally, we're seeing the Trevor Story that we have so desperately needed to see. But, I mean, to not put him in the category of someone that you trust, to me, it just, I don't know.
Who still doesn't trust him? Did somebody say something that would lit you on fire a little bit?
We still have people that don't trust him, man. And it's at this point, it's disrespectful. People gotta wake up.
So here's how it comes down to me. Number one, I always looked at the character of the player. I mean, how easy would it have been to get frustrated, quit, stop taking care of yourself? I mean, he has continued to push through and persevere through just bad luck after bad luck. And then he's finally playing a full year and he's also producing. So it's not just a good story that he stayed healthy. It's a good story that he's, a leader of the team, The team kind of embodies his, the journey he's gone through here, and he's doing it in every other way. I mean, home runs, a timely base hit down the line in that Yankees series. He's 23 of 23 stolen bases. He hit his 22nd home run today. You mentioned the RBI numbers. He has solidified the up the middle defense. I mean, you can't say enough about him. And look, I say this every time we talk about somebody with an injury history. I never root for injuries. If the name on the front of your jersey is the Red Sox, I'm going to root for you. He's obviously a likable guy. I've already mentioned he's a leader in the clubhouse. And I don't think that very many people could disagree with the fact that this team is where they are in the position they're in, to a large credit to Trevor Story. Now, you could put other people in that conversation, especially people that weren't on the roster last year. I put Bregman in that conversation. I put Chapman in that conversation. I put Crochet in that conversation. And then I'd also have the uptick, getting Giolito back, but also the uptick in production from a guy like Bayo, who looks like a legit number 2 starter. So players, the only person that's really regressed is Duran, and he's still a very good player.
Yeah, he's
Guys
doing
have
good. I mean, yeah.
guys have gotten healthy, stayed healthy, that have had injury histories for the most part. Guys have continued to get better. Abreu, led the team in home runs, and still does, even though he's on the IL right now. So, I mean, look, Whitlock, another guy, big time injury history, largely stayed healthy. He's lights out right now, and he's pitching high leverage innings. So, I mean, credit could probably go to the strength and conditioning nutrition program they got going on over there. I don't know. I don't think we want to do that deep of a dive, but look, it's all coming together. We got a month to go. Here's the sprint. We are in second place at 3.5 back, hold the first wild card, and we got a pretty soft schedule. So, I mean, I can't wait for the next month of baseball. I haven't been this excited about the Red Sox in it feels like 6 or 7 years.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. People were talking about right after COVID with that team that went there, and I'm like, this isn't it. Like, this is not the team. But I mean, how can't you be excited? How can't you be thrilled? This is so far better than a lot of people thought, especially with the regression from certain people. Dude, you got 2 people in the runnings for Cy Young. One's a starter and one's your closer. At this point, if Garrett Crochet doesn't win it, are you really shocked with Tariq Skubal, whose team has actually done a little bit better? I'm not looking at his numbers right now, but I actually do want to see how much better he's done or how deeper he's gone. Honestly, I think it's going to be Crochet's, but what's nuts about this is that you've also got a closer who should be getting consideration. You got one starter in Detroit who's got 200 plus strikeouts and 160 plus innings. Then you got Crochet, 160 innings, 200 plus strikeouts. He's got more wins. The ERA is almost the exact same. I think it's Crochet's. And honestly, Tariq Skubal too, and your closer should be number 3. I honestly, I think that he's going to be getting more votes than people imagine. This is completely off topic. This is coming from B Cookie. Schwarber hitting 4 home runs today and 9 RBIs. I don't know how many of them actually came against pitchers, but I've seen Carl Schwarber hit 3 home runs in a game. The guy it's half swing with just a smart swing. He's just a really, really good hitter. He also might hit 60 home runs this year. Might be the first time since whatever, was it 97 or 98 when Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa both hit 60 home runs? You might see one in the National League and one in the American League as opposed to 2 in the National League. It's absolutely bonkers. So, yeah, man, I mean, I'm content with where this team is headed. Do I think this is a playoff team? Yes. Do I think this is a team that could surprise and actually take the division? Yes. Do I think this team is better than Detroit? I struggle because you'd have to have Crochet and Tariq Skubal face each other 2 or 3 times in that series to really give me confidence. But even so, whose rotation do you trust more? And I don't know if you're as well acquainted with Detroit as obviously we are with Boston. But if you had to trust Crochet, Bayo, Giolito, or Giolito Bayo against Detroit's 1-2-3, and I'm going to give you their names right now because I'm actually not sure who their 2-3. I think Flaherty's in there. So it's Tariq Skubal, Jack Flaherty, and Casey Mize. Who would you rather have 1-2-3?
Yeah, I saw Mize pitch the other day. He got rocked.
Yeah,
Um, I mean,
I'm going to tell
obviously
you I
this is
take
a
Boston.
difficult. Well, so here's what I know. Tony Maserati on 98.5 the other day read off the stats for the last 14 starts, and that puts Crochet, Bayo, and Giolito as the top 3-man rotation in baseball. So, I mean, based on those numbers, based on what I'm seeing, based on Bayo's progression, Bayo's stuff is better than Giolito in my opinion. So right now I trust Bayo more to get that second game. The other thing is when you infuse Romy and Refschneider, who hit another home run off another lefty today, like clockwork, that lineup is we've beaten some pretty good lefties. And so look, Skubal's a maniac. I picked him in the preseason show to win the Cy Young Award. I think the lineup, unless he's just completely on, I think they find a way to at least get it to the bullpen. And if you can get it to our bullpen right now, we got one of the top bullpens back end anyways. So I think it's a little early to preview a Tigers Red Sox ALCS. I would love to be there. The thing that I'm looking for out of the last month of the season is one, health of the team, and two, continue to play winning type baseball, meaning limit the mistakes we were making in the beginning of the year. Don't run into bad outs, play good defense up the middle, and this team continues to pitch and hit, then, I think you got a chance. No team is by far and away the clear-cut favorite like the Dodgers were in the NL last year.
Yeah, no, and I don't think the Dodgers are the clear-cut top team right now anymore either. There's too many
Yeah.
injuries and things aren't going well. I think the Padres have the best bullpen I've ever, like possibly the best bullpen I've seen in the last, I don't know how many years / decade. I mean, they're so stacked. It's absolutely insane. All their relievers have like a 1-point-something ERA. It's 1-point-something. And they struck out 14 guys in 8 innings in relief against the Red Sox. I'm like, are you bleeping kidding me? Like, what are we doing here? Anything else you want to add about this series?
I mean, they just
No?
keep on winning, man. It's fun to watch.
They absolutely do. So, that being said, we're going to pivot over to this upcoming series. Obviously, we were kind of foreshadowing the fact that we got Peyton Toll pitching against Paul Skeens in the first game of this series. You got Dustin May going against, I believe it's Johan Oviedo in game 2. He's done very well. And then you got Lucas Giolito against Mitch Keller. So, what do you have in your mind for this 3-game set? Who do you have winning game 1? Who do you have winning game 2? And who do you have winning game 3? We could do it one at a time.
I mean, I don't need to do it one at a time. I will highlight tomorrow's game. This is the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's the same Pittsburgh Pirates. Don't let Paul Skeens make you think anything different about the series as a whole. They should win this series. But it's going to be really tough tomorrow to win against Skeens. That's a tough spot to put a 22-year-old kid who was pitching in college a year or two ago or whatever it was, very short period of time ago. And for him to feel the pressure to be as close to perfect as possible against a top-end guy like this, I think it's a tough spot to put the kid in. I understand the counter to that is he's facing the lineup, not Skeens, and that part of it I get. Somebody dropped a stat in here. I don't have a reason not to trust it. They're the 29th team in OPS against lefties, something like that. Maybe it was batting average. So the lineup's not good. But that, and while I get that, it's your first major league start. You're a young kid, and I know you're pitching against the lineup, but the thought is if I give up a 2-run single here, we're not going to win this game. It's just a tough thing to go into. And maybe he's different. Maybe he's, got Crochet's mindset. I don't know. I've seen him pitch only essentially in Twitter highlights. So I know he's highly touted. I know he's got good stuff. I know they're expecting a lot for him. I know that, some of the lack of trades at the deadline were a result of wanting to hold on to this player. I'm excited for a start tomorrow. I think it's going to be a tough game to win, but I do think they should still win the series.
It's going to be hard for me to actually, I think, counter that. The issue going up against one of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, he's got the Jacob deGrom effect in the sense that he's not getting run support. If I told you that Paul Skeens had a 2 ERA and he had a losing record, would you believe me?
Yes.
Yeah, because he's playing in Pittsburgh. If he's playing anywhere else, he's got 15 wins in the bag. So, I mean, that's the thing. So you got the Red Sox offense, which I do trust more than Pittsburgh. I think some of their players have absolutely just completely fallen. It's just busted stars, blown stars. It's not happening there. They've still got to wait for O'Neal Cruz. I think O'Neal is back. If he isn't, he'll be back soon. I haven't paid attention to him. But I mean, I think you're winning 2 of these 3 games. I really think you're winning 2. If you win the first game, there's a chance you can sweep. That's how much confidence I have in the Red Sox right now and how little confidence I have in Pittsburgh. They might skate by with 1. They might win 1 game. But that's going to be game 1. I mean, if they sneak a win against game, 2 or 3 and we lose that series, that's going to be tough. But, I mean, crazier things have happened. Did anybody say or even think that the Red Sox are going to win 7 of their last 8? No, I didn't think so. I thought we were going to split against New York. I was hoping to take 3 against 4 against Baltimore. Go 5-3. You went 7-1. So in theory, if you do go, 1-2 or 2-1, whatever, you still done pretty good in that 3 series set right there. So, I mean, the only direction we're going to continue going is up. I know we have a couple players that are coming back. I hope there are certain players that do not come back to this team for the remainder of the year. But, dude, it's hard to be upset about what's going on when your team is doing well. It's so interesting when you're critical. Things are going well. Ride the high, ride the wave, man.
Yeah, you're a good baseball team. You're a playoff team. The Pittsburgh is just simply not. You should win these series. It's a major disappointment if they don't. And I don't care that Skeens is pitching in one of them. If you lose that game, you should win the other 2.
Right. Anything else
Go
you want to
Sox.
add? Very nice. That's going to do it for the Bastards of Boston baseball. Everyone have a great